Good evening. The old man here. November 21st, 2024. This video was inspired by GMC 9451. GMC 9451. He's a subscriber that had made a comment on my last video. And he inspired a really good idea. The thing I want to talk about tonight is everybody, especially these YouTube gold and silver guys. Oh my God, they are something. I'm telling you what. From one day to the next, if gold and silver is up, oh my God, it's going to the moon. And the next day, silver's down, or gold's down, or both is down, and oh my God, is the gold run, or is the bull run over, and is it time to sell silver? Oh my God. I realize a lot of that's clickbait, but the problem is they don't think about this new stacker that kind of questioning what he's doing. Am I doing the right thing? You know, his family might be him or her family might be telling him, you know, that's crazy. You know, stacking gold and stacking silver, that's nuts. It's never going to go anywhere. Blah, 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 blah. You know, they totally don't understand gold and silver. And in fact, a lot of us really don't, I think, understand gold and silver. We keep seeing the prices going up. Or if we see the prices going down, we're like, oh my God, you know, what's the deal? Again, keep in mind that every ounce or gram of silver or gold that you have, its value really isn't going up or down. It's the same gold and or silver. It's the same it was yesterday. You know, these guys that are panicking or you know, again, I know it's clickbait a lot of times, but I've actually watched a video from a guy this morning. I think he means well, you know, but unfortunately, he's so deep in the narrative. He works at a coin shop, and imagine they're talking this stuff every day at the coin shop. But, you know, he's just frantic about not being able to get 90% silver. I can get you 90% silver any dang time you want. It's just a matter of how much you want to pay for it. And so, you know, honestly, don't sweat it. Like I said yesterday, when it comes to gold and silver, the only time I really pay attention to whether it's up or down is when I'm ready to buy. I want to know where it's at. You know, if it's on a hell of a run, I might just hold back for a few days and wait for it to, you know, to drop back some. It always consolidates. When it makes a hell of a run, it'll consolidate. It'll pull back a little bit. Like here, it ran like 90 miles an hour to $35 an ounce on silver. And it ran like hell going to 2,700 an ounce on gold. You had to know there was going to be a somewhat of a pullback. And so roughly gold pulled back to what, 25.50 or something like that. And silver pulled back to just under 30, you know. So on that fast run up to 35, a lot of people was convinced, oh my God, I got to get in. I got to get in. You know, FOMO, fear of missing out. Got to get in. I got to buy more. I got to buy it faster. You know, blah, 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 blah. Some might even be going in debt, which is totally crazy. You know, just take it easy. You know, when it's flying up, just hold back for a minute. Wait and see where it goes. Chances are, most of the time I've ever seen, it peaks out. It slows down, it's overbought, guys get their head together, and the next thing you know, she comes on back some, maybe not back all the way back or where it was, but it's coming back some. It's going to retreat. Well, buy on the retreat, you know, and, you know, just take it easy. Don't panic. That's the main thing. That's the thing about prepping. The purpose of prepping in the first place is so you don't get caught up in a panic. You can't make good decisions in a panic. I don't think any good decision was ever made during a panic. If you're well prepared, whether that's food, lights, gas, your firearms, your ammunition, your training, your gold, your silver. If you're well prepped, there's no reason to panic ever. The other thing that kind of gets to me sometimes is these guys, they're showing their stack of these pretty coins and whatever else. And I don't know. I think they're just trying to make people envious of what they have. They're trying to show off what they've got. They might even have a good story to tell, but that stack of gold doesn't impress me at all. It doesn't make me envious either. God bless them. If that's what they want to do, fine. But honestly, them pretty coins that they're paying a ton of premium on, they could have stacked more weight. Like I said the other day, this is like a sumo match. It's all about putting on weight. All about putting on weight. Them pretty coins ain't going to buy you a damn thing more when it comes time that you got to sell, or you want to sell, or you need to sell, or you need to trade. That nice piece of land comes up that you've been eyeballing for years, and it's what you feel is undervalued, and gold and silver you feel is overvalued at that time, and you want to trade. That fancy coin ain't going to get you a thing more. They're going to look at the weight, and it's going to trade on account of weight. It's not going to trade on account of how damn pretty it is. So it just doesn't make sense to be envious of something somebody else has. It's cool. I think they're nice. I think they're pretty, and by God, they can own them all they want. No big deal. I don't care what they do. But that's not my way of stacking, and maybe I'm just a crazy old man. Maybe they finally got my meds right. Who knows? Hard to say. Don't take this as financial advice or stacking advice. I might just be crazy. But this is the way I do things. I buy the least premium silver I can without getting crazy. I do think that the 100-ounce bars in the future could be very difficult to move. Somebody's going to buy them, but it's going to be limited. The thing about it is if I want to trade, I don't want to trade for a check. I want to trade for cash so that I can turn around and turn that cash into something that I wanted. That cash is going to be momentary. That baby ain't going to be in my hands for more than a couple minutes because I know it's devaluating by the second. So, I want cash because more than likely that's what the next guy's going to want is cash. So I'm going to trade that for cash quick, and then I'm going to trade it into whatever I think is undervalued at the time. So, take it easy, take it steady. Don't worry about what somebody else has or somebody else doesn't have. It's not going to help you at all. And I think the next thing, I'd like to mention along that same lines is, come up with a plan. Come up with a budget. That's one thing we were never taught in school. Even back in my day, we were never told budget, never talked about it at all in school. My parents never talked about it. In fact, friends of mine, he never knew nothing about his budget. He had no idea what his mom and dad made. At least I knew that much, of which it didn't do me a damn bit of good because I still didn't know what a budget looked like. I had no idea what they were paying for house payments and car payments and this and that and the other thing compared to what they were making. So really, it didn't do me much good, but I did know what they were making. But come up with a plan. Take your budget. I think, I've spent most of my life winging it, and I think I could have done a hell of a lot better looking back if I would have had a plan. It's like the old saying goes, if you don't have a plan, your plan will surely fail. So, come up with a plan, come up with a budget. What can I spend on food this week? And is there anything left over after paying whatever payments you have, whether it's credit card payments or house payments or car payments or whatever? What can I, What can I spend or what can I convert to gold and silver, or what can I, let's see, my grocery budget is, $120 this week or 220, I don't know, whatever it is. And, I can get by on $100 or $200 worth of groceries and my budget's 220. Well, I'm going to go buy an extra $20 worth of groceries. Whatever you think is the highest on your priority, your defensive firearm, and being able to get out and do some practicing. You got one box of shells in the cupboard in your handgun or your rifle, whatever. If you got AR-556 or something along that lines, you only got one box of shells. Maybe that's where you think you need to strengthen up your preps a little bit, but you don't have to get crazy in any one direction. But also, I think by listening to some of these guys and the hype and the fear of missing out, I think it's real easy to get sidetracked and get crazy. Either you say, screw it, I could never get there. Look at that pile of gold. I'll never be there, so I quit. The hell with it. Or you say, oh my God, silver's going to the moon. There isn't going to be any by the end of the week. I better get out there and, buy $1,000 worth of silver. Well, I only got $20 in my pocket, but I know where I can borrow the other 980, No, take your time. If you got $20, go buy $20 worth of silver, or should I say trade for $20 worth of silver. And trust me, anytime you're trading for gold and silver, that's a damn good trade. So there's a few other things I wanted to talk about. I just got to read my notes. I knew I should have wrote them down, or a good idea to write them down so I wouldn't forget. Boom and bust cycles. Also keep in mind, I think we're going to go through some hard times, but honestly, boom and bust cycles are normal. The problem is the central bank has been trying to paper over a bust cycle since at least 2008, if not longer. They keep hiding it. They keep faking it. They don't really want anybody to know how bad they've been cheating you. So they've been, bandaging up, making it look good, kind of making the things just push along. But in a normal bust and boom cycle, it's normally, or known also as a business cycle, it's normally only 4 years. Every 4 years you have a bust cycle, and then you spend the next 4 years on a boom cycle coming back up again. That's healthy for a market. And the reason I say it's healthy for a market, after that bust cycle, you'll start a new boom cycle, and sure, there's going to be new businesses built and whatever else are started during that new boom cycle. And, some of them are really good ideas and some are really stupid ideas. Well, at the end of the day, at the end of them 4 years for sure, whoever hasn't getting shaken out already, they'll get shook out in that bust cycle. The stupid ideas will go to stupid people or stupid idea land, and that'll be it. You won't see no more of that dumbass idea. Okay, that's good. Or at least not from that guy. I'm sure somebody else can come up with a dumb idea, though. But that'll be it. That business will be gone, and that's good. The good business continue to go on, or the good practices or the good ideas will keep going on. And the dumb ones or the stupid ones will just, they'll just crash and burn. That's fine. That needs to happen, honestly. Okay? But when you paper over it and you hide it for so many years, like say 2007, 2008, since the last crash, that was all just a goddamn big mess that got us where they were there. And then they made it look like it was, it's not too bad, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, it's bad, and it's been bad, and it's getting worse. But they managed to cover it up. So when this thing finally does break, it's going to be ugly. But that's not the end of the world. And in fact, it could be very profitable though for those that are prepared. The more you are prepared, the better off you are. if you've been getting prepared since 2008 for this boom cycle, or this bust cycle, excuse me, you'll be able to pick up things on the cheap. Because in every bust cycle, when these businesses fail, you'll have the opportunity to buy things at a fire basement sale. It'll be really good stuff on really good prices, way below even wholesale prices. And you pick them wholesale prices up, you turn them, and you start building a new business, and you go from there. Whatever your thing is, whether it's maybe, I don't know, maybe you're into flipping motorcycles, and everybody's got a motorcycle for sale, and you in this bus cycle. So you pick up as many good deals as you can, and you start turning them. You make $50 on this one, $100 on that one, $500 on that one, whatever. But that maybe before you know it, by the end of the next boom cycle, you've built a hell of a business, and it was a great idea, and it just keeps going the rest of your life. But it is normal to have a boom and a bust cycle. It's not the end of the world. It's nothing to get too damn excited about. You just hunker down, you tighten up your belt, and make it work. The main thing is not to panic. And the more you are prepared, the less likely you will be to panic. And one way to become better prepared is to sit down and write a plan or a budget. Help you get to your goals. What are your goals? What do I need to have, or what do I want to have in the lines of ammunition? How much more time should I spend on the range training? Work on those things, either making the time or getting the ammunition to do that, or do I need a few more boxes on the shelf, just in case something happens. Let's say ammo's hard to get again, like it was during the pandemic. Have a plan. What do I need to do? What needs to be strengthened up, and how do I get there? Again, do my food preps need to be propped up some more, things like that. There's all kinds of things. Or maybe I'd like to have an extra 5 gallons of gas. Well, at today's prices, that's $15. Hey, you got to work that into your budget. That ain't, just $1 or $2. That's $15 you got to work into your budget. And for some, that's easier than others. But main thing is to work on it, have a plan. It's some of these videos are informational. They're well worth watching. You can pick up tidbits out of them. But unfortunately, the majority of them are trying to peddle gold and silver. And the best way to peddle gold and silver is clickbait. Gets you to watch your channel, gets them money in the bank. That's all it is. That's, I don't even know what to say about it, but I don't know. It's just the main thing, like I said, is to pick up good information wherever you can. Let the rest ride. Work on getting some gold and some silver into your possession, whatever that takes and whatever that means for you. If it's a gram of gold, you're thinking, oh my God, that ain't much gold. Hey, that's more than 99.9% of the rest of the country. You're doing all right. You get that first gram of gold, go for 2 grams of gold. You get that first ounce of silver, work on getting that second ounce of silver. Can't afford an ounce of silver? Buy a pre-65 dime. They're what, $250 right now, probably, I would say. Yeah, well, 25 times face is $250 for a dime. You ought to be able to scratch up a cup, $5, $10, put 2 or 4 dimes aside. You look at them and you go, my God, that ain't very much. Again, that's more than 99.9% of the people in this country. Actually, it's 99.5% people in this country, but you get what I mean. All right, guys. I think I've said what I need to say for tonight. You have a great night. Again, thanks, GMC 9451. Gave me a great idea for the video tonight. Thank you, bud. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night. Bye.